Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. This is episode 97. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling, and if you're new here, this is the greatest underground podcast on planet Earth. We'll be discussing underground music, art, politics, all sorts of stuff in the music scene, in the art scene, in the creative scene, reacting and reviewing music, talking about the platform. And like I said, I'm your host, Zom Slays, and welcome to episode 97. So, let's have a chit chat. Let's talk about updates. Let's talk about what's coming for Music Mondays. Let's get down to business. So, episode 96 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms, including YouTube, but it's mostly also available on all audio platforms. If you listen to podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, any of those podcast based platforms, we're also available there as well. And of course, you can catch the YouTube version of this show live every Saturday on the channel. But episode 96 is available on all platforms. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted last week. We had a really long show, and a really good show at that. So huge shout out to everybody that submitted last week. Let's talk about what else we have going down in Music Mondays. So, one major piece of content outside of submissions opening and things like that during the week. This past Friday, which is that would be the 25th, which was the day after my birthday. And sidebar, huge shout out to everybody that showed me birthday love this year. Thank you. Was definitely a chill holiday, and I hope you guys had a very good holiday as well if you celebrated. But continuing on, yes, Friday, the 25th, we dropped episode 1 of The Breakdown, hosted by Ivica Glass. That is a new YouTube series that we're starting on the Music Mondays channel, where Ivica will be interviewing artists of their choice, artists that they really want to break down conversations with, right? Talk about all sorts of topics, what's coming up next, their past, their inspirations, things like that. More of an interview piece, but hosted by Ivica Glass. Something that is a bit separated from the main Music Mondays podcast, which is here and now. So go check out episode 1 with Ivica Glass, and Ivica actually interviewed a alternative band by the name of A Place for Owls. So go show A Place for Owls and Ivica Glass some love. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, that is available on our channel right now. So, what else is in store and what happened over the last week or so? We also dropped a brand new article recently this Saturday. It is written by none other than your boy. It is my 91st published article across all of the media platforms I've written for, across all of the written pieces I've done. This is my 91st published piece, and I sat down with Woody Pond, who I haven't had a conversation with since about 2019, and me and Woody discussed their American trilogy, their recent project American Noir, what's coming up next, what the American trilogy means, a whole lot of really good stuff. So definitely go check out my 91st published piece, man. And you know, Zom Slays interviews are no fucking joke, so definitely go check that out if you're interested in Woody Pond or you're a Woody Pond supporter. And huge shout out to Woody Pond for taking the time to sit down with me. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 58, is also available on our SoundCloud. Definitely go check that out. That was curated this week by myself and Ivica as well. Huge shout out to Ivica for absolutely killing it this week. But yeah, definitely go check out SoundCloud Sunday, volume 58. Usually it's about less than 30 tracks, but this week I think it was about 20 or so, featuring the underground's brightest stars, recent work, more relevant work, all unheard, all stuff that you're guaranteed to enjoy. So definitely go check out SoundCloud Sunday, and definitely share SoundCloud Sunday with your friends. Share SoundCloud Sunday to somebody that is looking for new music. People that are looking for playlists, things like that, and you got featured in it. Definitely go show SoundCloud Sunday some love, man, and go show people the playlist so everybody can get shown some love, man. So huge shout out to Ivica Glass for curating that with me, and huge shout out to Khan Bini, our Music of Mondays staff designer, for updating the cover as well. Definitely go check that out and go show Khan Bini and Ivica some love. So, what's coming up in Music Mondays? Well, last week I spoke a little bit about future plans, what we're going to be rolling out for the end of the year, things like that. What's coming up for Music Mondays as far as content, how we're going to be wrapping up the year. And essentially, I'm just going to get the staff ready for 2023, really make sure we have all of our ducks in a row as far as a schedule, and then things that we have going on in the community. Like I said, the Music Mondays Awards will be taking place before Christmas. So definitely be on the lookout for the Music Mondays Awards. That's something that I'm really looking forward to, and I spoke a little bit about originally at Cyberfest, and that's going to be something that I'm going to have the staff help sort of curate some categories, stuff like best new artist, best album, best music video, most improved artist, things like that. Not that those hold any weight exactly, but it's definitely something fun for the community that everybody can get involved in. So definitely be on the lookout for some details with that. I have a feature Friday and a workshop Wednesday also coming out as well before the end of the year, so be on the lookout for new episodes of those as well. If you don't know, Workshop Wednesday is our workshop series where we sit down with producers, engineers, vocalists, really break down their process and how they get down to business. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And Feature Friday is sort of the Music Mondays interview spotlight that's extended from the podcast, right? So Ivica has the breakdown where they sort of, record off stream, and Feature Friday is sort of a live version of that. And I'll be breaking down conversations with artists, and definitely expect one more episode of Feature Friday as well. So Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday, Underground Classics Volume 6 will definitely be coming out as well. And of course, one more dose of Daybreak to finish off the year from Michael Jones. So, we're definitely going to be expanding a lot. Expect sort of not like a rebrand into the new year, but definitely a new refreshed look. Definitely expect a lot more YouTube content and a lot more just really new pieces that I think the underground will really enjoy and artists can really benefit from, right? Tutorials, things like that. So expect a lot of really, really new and fun content, and expect the regular weekly, monthly scheduled content that we'll always have. Of course, the podcast will continue, everything will continue, our written pieces will continue, and that's about that, my friends. So expect more details in the coming week as far as what we have going on, what's coming up next, etc., etc. We'll be having a lot more content coming your way, so definitely follow us on social media if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, literally every platform at All Music Mondays, or you can follow the links down below if you are on YouTube, or you can do exclamation MM in the chat. So that's it for regular scheduled updates, my friends. I have a couple topics that I definitely want to touch on as far as thinking points and really points of conversation that I think the show would really benefit from. I have a couple things written down that I think in the coming weeks we can openly discuss on the show. But this week we can hop right into submissions, which we will do right now. So let's switch screens, and we're going to talk about submissions. So, um, lots of questions, lots of sort of, I wouldn't say like misunderstandings, but a lot of people, still don't fully understand how to submit to Music Mondays. So that's why I really break it down every week for you. And this week will be no different. I had to take off my sweatshirt. Um, so yeah, we curate on Twitter for multiple reasons, but the main one being it helps keep the show free flow. We're really a very kind of rare podcast in the form that there aren't many live shows, and there definitely aren't as many live shows or as long and as consistent as Music Mondays. So to keep that, you know, really kind of vibe going on for the show, we will curate through Twitter for this for the foreseeable future. But like I said, it helps keep the show free flow, and on top of it, helps grow the platform, and it helps grow the community together. People meet new artists, meet new supporters, meet new mutuals, start collabs, things like that. And the Music Mondays Discord is another great place for that. But Twitter is another really, really wonderful platform to be able to bring in independent creatives and all types of new people. So definitely follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. So that's really why we do that. But um, when can you submit for the show? Basically, all week. If you're watching on YouTube, submissions are most definitely open. If you're watching the show live, submissions will be opening tomorrow for next week's show. So if you're interested in submitting for episode 98, submissions will go live tomorrow in the same format that this tweet is in as well. And they'll always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 11/28/22 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/zomplays, which is here now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So, basically, they'll read the same form every week. Of course, I might tweak a couple things here or there. Maybe have a new logo, whatever. But for the most part, this is the format that you'll be seeing every week to feature on the podcast. So, what else? Other than that, one thing that I've noticed that a lot of people do miss, and a lot of people, um, just kind of let slip by. The only thing that we do ask, considering that we do not and will not and have never ever, and we just won't take any money for submissions, playlists, interviews, written pieces, things like that. The only thing that we do ask is that you do follow Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit to the podcast, because like I said, it helps grow the platform, and it helps pay respect to everybody that does follow the platform and wait for their submissions every week. So if you're interested in joining the community and you're interested in submitting your work, that's all that we do ask. We'll never ask you for a dime. We'll never ask you for any weird shit. Just follow the platform and you're good to go. The last part about submissions, which isn't really anything to note, but submissions do close about a couple of hours before the show starts. The reason for that being I can really just get a head count. Obviously, I don't listen to anything prior to going live because that would really kill the reaction part of it. But yeah, the reason we do that is to just essentially really just get a head count, and like it helps me really get like an idea of what the show is going to be like, and whether or not I have time to speak on other topics, bring a guest on and do submissions, etc. So that's why we do that as well. And then eventually when we get more and more frequent submissions, we'll have another method. But for right now, you have about 6 days Technically 7. It's just about 7. It's like from Monday to Monday, and submissions will only close like a couple hours before the show, like I said. But yeah, you have about 7 days, and feel free to drop your links and portfolios down below any of these tweets that you see live for the current week. All you have to do is check the date. 99% of the time, the date will be right, unless I just fuck up the date. If the date is fucked up and this is the most recent one and it's already passed, it's probably the most recent one, but that very rarely happens. I think it's only happened like twice in the last year. But yeah, make sure you check the date, things like that. And then yeah, you're good to go. So before we get started here, one thing that I have been doing for a while and sort of we're used to, but I don't really say at the start of the show. We'll be going through audio submissions first, and then we'll be going through media submissions once those are done. Stuff like writing, visuals, edits, skits, short films, things like that. So audio first, and then media. That's just one thing, again, to keep the show free flow. Keeps it real simple, you know. So, I did take a peek this week. We definitely have some first time submitting artists. We have some returning artists. We have a lot to go through. So let's hop right into this. I see that Offspring is first this week. And of course, Offspring will have a media submission, but I'm definitely excited for Offspring submission just because last week I said we need a day in the life, and Offspring dropped a video titled Offspring's POV. So this is going to be fucking hilarious. I'm definitely excited for this. But under that, for our first audio submission, we have the homie No Name Dread. And this one is going to be very interesting. I believe Dread is putting out a project, and this is the second track that they've submitted off of the project, and it's titled Running. And Dread is kind of a more rare artist in the aspect that Dread really lets their sound speak for themselves, and really just lets the music really become the aura of Dread, right? So I always look forward to No Name Dread submissions, but this week, like I said, they submitted a track titled Running. Now, let's pop this open in a new tab, and we'll check this out. I've already given some thoughts on this cover, but I will say again, this is definitely one of the hardest Dread covers that we've ever seen, for sure. It's very, like, you know, West Coast California, like, it's like super, like, it's just super cultured, man. Super cultured. So I'm a huge fan of like the early 2010s kind of like you know, like style of that cover. Like you don't see those too often that are like done really well. And also this is unreleased exclusive No Name Dread, so this is some pretty rare shit right here. But let's get it. No Name Dread, Running, Prod, No Name Dread. Holy shit.
But I'm not alone. You say take my hand and we go, and we go, and we go, and I hope that we don't overdose, cause we don't, ever know when we have had enough. Damage like city and advantage, no reasoning, can't banish, don't intervene, not this planet, abandoned, granted, the casket, I'ma leave my
holy shit. This was some fucking shit right here, bro. This,
Right where I was before.
yo, Dread is making some of the
But
most
I'm
unique
not alone.
fucking shit
You
for
say
sure.
take my hand and
Like what?
go and we go and we go and I hope that we don't overdose. Cause
That fade out was crazy too. Yeah, this is something else right here. Dread has been on like a different type of time, man. This is fucking different. I have some thoughts about this. Let's break this down. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of running. So, the instrumental is definitely a big, big part of this. Personality wise, and really kind of, I wouldn't say like sets the whole vibe because vocals are a very big part of this as well. As far as like catching the mood, but this fucking instrumental has got to be some of the most unique shit I've heard, just based off of sound selection and this melody. Like this melody is so like euphoric yet kind of like dreamlike. Um, it's almost like a story, but I don't know. It has this kind of like ethereal, euphoric kind of feeling. Um, because we've seen Dread on all sorts of instrumentals. Alternative pop shit, alternative shit, trap shit, lo-fi shit, dark shit. Like you name it, we've heard it. But this one in particular definitely has a certain kind of flavor to it. So I like it a lot, especially sound selection for sure. So instrumental is really, really solid. Let's talk about vocals. Vocals here are really dope. I love the mix, straight up, especially with the instrumental as well. Nothing's clashing too overbearing with anything. I feel like it kind of hits the nail on the head as far as like getting that like drowned out, you know, emotion from it, but you still get like the raw dread feeling, which is pretty sick. Like it's kind of like a rare kind of sound to capture. That's why I say that like it's very like unique shit. Like there isn't a lot of people like Dread doing what Dread's doing, man. Like definitely some rare shit right here. So vocally, I'd say the shining star for me. Um, One thing that I noticed was the writing was really, really fucking crazy. There was a lot of like really subtle punchlines that like if like you let it go over your head, it definitely would. So this is one of those tracks that you hear a couple times and you can like pick up some new lines from for sure. Um, Second Shining Star is definitely the hook. I like how everything's laid out with the structure. It's not like a standard hook. It kind of like has this like comfortable layout, but it definitely knocks hard enough to remind you that it's pretty much a Dread track. So, um, vocal structure and overall structure of the song is really, really good for sure. Let's talk about the theme here. Aesthetically, you guys know how I feel about this cover. Definitely some hard West Coast shit. I like the style. I think Dread did a really good job on this cover. Definitely a one of one. Um, Running. It was kind of like an obvious name for a track like this, right? Especially considering the lyrics. But like, I do think running definitely plays like a big theme when it comes to um what Dread really um is conveying in certain songs. Like a lot of the shit is like very hidden underneath a lot of bars and like a lot of like really like raw in your face kind of writing. So this is definitely one that has like an obvious theme, but like you can catch on to like more and more punchlines and lyrics as you listen to this. So this is definitely something that I would throw in the playlist, or if you do enjoy it, when it drops, definitely run it up for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to No Name Dread. Much love, homie. Make sure you follow No Name Dread on SoundCloud. Dread is 10 followers away from 220. Fire ass milestone for sure. Make sure you follow No Name Dread on Twitter at No Name Dread1. Dread is 7 followers from 180. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already, because we literally fucking hit 80 subscribers, and I didn't even have to say it this week. I didn't have to say it this week. Let's go. But you guys know what I'm about to say. Road to 90 has begun. But no, seriously, huge shout out to everybody that's already subbed to the channel, man. 80 subs is a really, really dope milestone. Obviously, 100 is the big goal, but I really am grateful for like every milestone that we do hit on the channel. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and the ones that have subscribed, huge shout out to you. Thank you for running up the drops. Thank you for showing love on the premieres, showing love to every upload. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, all that good shenanigans. We'll be hosting a lot more tracks, especially exclusively on YouTube and SoundCloud, so be on the lookout for that. It's definitely going to be a real big hub for underground art, so definitely go sub to that channel, 100%. Just missed a banger, I imagine, and you fucking did, my friend. That was some interesting shit. A huge shout out to Dread. But I hope you're well, Cole. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome on in, my friend. So yeah, let's fucking do this. That was a really, really good way to start the show. And I always feel like Dread kind of gets like the bottom of the submissions all the time, so it's nice that we got it ordered where Dread was first. Because, like, I just feel like it's so random sometimes. Like, I could refresh the page, like, a million times, and I'm sure fucking, I'm sure it'd switch up, but, this time, it was definitely in Dread's favor for sure. So, we kicked off with Dread. We have a decent amount of audio. I do believe we only have 1 media submission, so, gonna be an audio night, for sure. So, Dread's good. We're gonna wrap back around to Offspring. Our next submission, Soulja Los. I believe Soulja has been on a volume of SoundCloud Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the first time we'll be reacting and reviewing them on the podcast. So, not too sure what to expect, to be honest with you. So let's pop this open a new tab and check out what we got here. They submitted a track titled Money Like Atlantis. Hashtag 60 World. Shout out 60 World. We showed them a lot of love here on the show. Covers some real fucking dreamlike shit. I love the description. Really well done. I love when I see artists actually fucking make sure they go out of the way to do this. You know, you got your socials, how to buy beats, inquiries, etc., etc. Well done. Well done, okay. This was dropped 2 days ago, and it's brand fucking new. Alright. Let's check this out. First time submitting artist, Soulja Los, Money Like Atlantis. I love that chirp. Yeah, this is super tough. A good breakdown. Really good breakdowns and everything, man. I like the structure. Good fade out. Yeah, well done. I really like the structure on this. Love the pixelated harmony. I do that with a lot of my vlogs. I agree. I agree. There's a lot I like about this. Okay, so obviously no vocals. We'll break this down by two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental itself, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Money Like Atlantis. So, first off, I just want to say the shining star to me 100% has got to be the structure. Sometimes producers will get like fucking like OD and not let the beat breathe a little bit, and not even for the purpose of like an artist being on it. Sometimes they just don't know to do that, and I like how this beat kind of has a bit of a breather, it has a breakdown, and you go right back in. It's kind of one of those like continuously built up instrumentals as to where like it breaks down, it builds up, it breaks down, it builds up, rather than like have like a complete breakdown, let the mel go for some bars, and then you hop back into it. There's a couple ways you could structure certain instrumentals, and I do like the way that this one in particular is structured. So that's a huge shining star for me. Mix is solid. I like how really like rough but like tight sounding this is. Much like Cole said, I do enjoy this melody a lot. I think the sound selection was really good for what else was chosen here as far as melody and stuff goes and drums. Yeah, well rounded for sure. Um, clocking in at 304, this kind of hits all the check marks for me as far as like releasing instrumentals as a producer. And a huge shout out to Soulja, because we need more producers out here representing producers that are artists. You know what I mean? Not just like super worried about placements, and actually producers that enjoy putting on instrumentals, enjoy doing albums, enjoy treating like themselves like artists. We have so many here in the Music Mondays community. Absolno and Thomas Marcus, fucking so many producers that we've featured here in the community that really treat themselves like artists, and just enjoy being a producer, and also like expanding their platform. So good on Soulja for actually putting out instrumentals, and really like pushing the art. Like, you love to fucking see that, especially for like the producer community that's so like saturated and like so worried about placements and money and this. Nah, 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 nah. This is what you need to be doing, because this is like longevity shit, like 100%. So keep putting out shit for sure. Um, let's talk about the theme here. The cover is definitely some chill shit. I do feel like this is a very like wintry, kind of like ice, you know, like cold beat. If you know, like what I mean, like if that makes any fucking sense. But I do feel like this cover fits for sure. Money Like Atlantis, I do like the character changes. It just kind of gives it a little like pizzazz, you know what I mean? Makes it attractive, and just kind of like it makes it personal, especially for like um like first time listeners, and just gives them something to hold on to and remember, like, oh, I like this producer's beats, he's fire. And like you just have something to like associate yourself with. Um I like it. I like it a lot. Definitely hits every check mark, like I said, for sure. So huge shout out to Soulja Los. Thank you for the submission, my friend. Much, much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow Soulja Los on SoundCloud. Soulja is 10 away from 860, also a great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Soulja Los on Twitter. Soulja is 4 away from 650. Fire milestone, motherfuckers. Go show Soulja some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 90 subscribers now. Huge shout out to everybody that is already subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, what are you doing? We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, exclusive series, man. We got so much going on the channel, man. Go show the content some love. And there's definitely some shit on there that you'll most certainly enjoy. It's sauce, but like frosted. See, Cole gets it, man. Cole fucking gets it. It's sauce, but like frosted. I agree. Shout out Soldier Los, man. So, we've got some returning artists up next, man. Some familiar faces in the community. Some new faces that have been submitting recently. So let's check this out. Up next, we got the homie SLM. We've been reviewing SLM and reacting to their work for like the last couple episodes, you know, past 2 weeks or so. SLM has more of a, you know, alternative driven sound, and I think they do a really good job with it. But this week they submitted a track titled Something Like Meditation. This one will be on my new project next week, December 1st. My newest sort of self-titled track as a continue the list of what SLM stands for. So, Something Like Meditation, SLM. Okay, that's kind of fire. I like that a lot. Something Like Meditation, SLM. That's pretty hard. I won't lie. Like that's some rare shit. 8 days ago, tagged hip hop and rap. I love this cover a lot. It looks like something out of like a children's book that's like weirdly creepy. I definitely love the cover choice. Clocking in at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Interesting waveform as well. I understand this message is not the coolest to say, but if you're down to try to know a better way to meditate, the song with SoundCloud only when the project drops. Okay, so we got a little SoundCloud exclusive going on right here. Okay. SLM, Something Like Meditation.
I got thoughts, let them flow. Watch me move, I move slow. Does it show when I'm low? Think it's time you left me alone. I got thoughts, let them flow. Watch me move, I move slow. Does it show when I'm low? Think it's time you left me alone.
I have to say I'm the proudest of every day, cause I doubted, my patience waited. I found this, my name, my way, all around us. We don't feel the same about this, we won't feel the same about this. So I should explain the sound. It's something like meditation now, and it's sounding like magic too somehow. Since back at dating, so love me, don't keep me waiting. Make a habit of sending light to me if I'm worth saving. So tragic because it's unlikely from this. Your ears vibrating, if this is heard at all, I would prefer you saw how I feel when I'm in this state, and understand just why I let my mind run wild. I didn't even wanna smile, I don't get it cause it's been a while. Open my eyes, felt the mess, the pile of stress. Slip off my shoulder, deep breath. Starting the counting over, rising my chest. Push out what's left, peace comes closer. I mean, at least it keeps me close to closure. Post-traumatic, I'm grippy, sock, sleep over. You get me, I'm not the most dramatic or the most silly, but I really think I have it. Nightmares of enclosure. Let me not say too much yet. I'ma wait until after I meditate and let it set. I'll start over.
Watch me move, I move slow. Does it show when I'm low? Think it's time you left me alone. I got thoughts, let them flow. Watch me move, I move slow. Does it show when I'm low? Think it's time you left me alone. I got
I have to say I'm the proudest of every day, cause I doubted my patience, waited, I found this, my name, my way, all around this. We don't feel the same about this, we won't feel the same about this, so I should explain the sound. It's something like meditation, now it sounds like magic too somehow. Since back at dating, so love me, don't keep me waiting, make a habit of sinning, light to me if I'm worth saving. So tragic because it's unlikely from this, your ears vibrating, if this has hurt at all, I would prefer you saw how I feel when I'm in this state, and understand just why I let my mind run wild. I didn't even wanna smile, I don't get it cause it's been a while. Open my eyes, felt the mess, a pile of stress, slip off my shoulder, deep breath, starting to count it over, rising my chest. Wish I was left, peace comes closer, I mean at least it keeps me close to closure. Post-traumatic, I'm grippy sock, sleep over, you get me, I'm not the most dramatic or the most sober, but I really think I have it, nightmares of foreclosure.
Really interesting sample usage. It's got this mix of like lo-fi alternative, but like it has like these like great hip hop elements sprinkled in. Lots of thoughts here. So let's break this down. We're talking about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of something like meditation. So, instrumentally, definitely something I expected from SLM from what we've heard so far, right? I do feel like this is very like SLM sounding track 100%. Much like I said, it has like these alternative lo-fi elements mixed in with a lot of like really good like, classic hip hop elements. And I definitely like the drum selection a lot. Structure's very, very good. The sample is utilized like really well. Like really, really well. So the instrumental is definitely spot on and definitely clocks in at 420 or so, which is like really good for what this is. So I think it's utilized very, very well. But let's talk about vocals. So, I think this sample is a big part of this. I do like the way the sample is utilized. I do like how everything is structured again, you know what I mean, instrumentally and vocally. But a lot of this writing was very like it was pretty powerful shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's some like simple lyrics, there's some like over the top bars that you'd kind of like it would definitely like fly over your head if you didn't know what SLM was talking about. And it's all wrapped up under this kind of chill, very like not like cool aesthetic, but a very like laid back aesthetic, 100%. Um, Flow was definitely interesting as well. I do feel like the flow sort of made you listen to the lyrics a lot more. It was definitely an interesting take for what this instrumental was. For sure, for sure. But I do enjoy the vocals for what they are, especially in regards to the mix as well. Nothing's clashing to overbearing. Again with the vocal sample, working everything together, I do feel like everything definitely sounds in unison. For sure. Everything definitely sounds like very cohesive. So instrumental, very, very solid. Vocals, very solid. I do feel like this tells a story. Let's talk a little bit about the theme. Aesthetically, like I said, I do enjoy this cover. It definitely reminds me of like an illustration in like a children's book, or some shit you'd find in the back of like a high school textbook type shit. Like this is a very, very unique cover, and especially for this, I definitely feel like it matches like the chill aesthetic. So self-titled something like meditation, I do feel like this is very, very dope. Because SLM is a very like unique name, right? So you gotta really have some like meaning behind it, and like really like get supporters to understand a project and a brand like SLM, and like who SLM is as an artist. So I feel like tracks like this are a really good way to introduce yourself. like 100%. So I really like the theme a lot here. And I like the mix of genres for sure. So huge shout out to SLM. Much love, my friend. Make sure you go follow SLM on SoundCloud. They are 4 away from 30. Great milestone. Go show SLM some love. And of course, make sure you follow SLM on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 260. Great milestone as well. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode, all 97, every artist is featured in the description. So if you like any of these artists, go check them out. Go show them some love. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive content, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good shit's going down on the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that already is subscribed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's get it, chat. We have a whole lot of really good audio coming up, I'm not gonna lie. For sure. So, like I said, we'll wrap back around to Offspring. Dread, great way to kick off the show. Soulja Los, yup. SLM, yup. King Mark. Now, me and Mark were actually chatting last night about this track, so this is funny that Mark submitted this, and I'm definitely glad Mark did. But if you don't know, Mark is definitely just a great member of the Music Mondays and underground community. Mark has, improved and worked extremely hard all of 2022, most of which we saw here on the Music Mondays podcast. So Mark is definitely a pleasure to have around. But let's check this track out. So they submitted a track titled Insomniac featuring Young Kel. And we were having a conversation about this track last night, because Young Kel was featured on SoundCloud Sunday, volume 58, which you should go check out right now on our motherfucking SoundCloud at Music Mondays. But yeah, Mark was like, yeah. I think because I was like, yeah, you guys need to work together. Mark was like, oh, we already did. And I was like, oh shit, have you submitted that to the show? And here we are, because we have not heard or reacted to this on the Music Mondays podcast. So, Insomniac featuring Young Kel. Cover is definitely some classic Mark shit. Like this definitely looks like some fucking throwback shit for sure. Damn, okay, we got the credits. Poll coming through in the motherfucking comments. Got some love in the comments. Okay. Alright, let's check this out. King Mark, Insomniac featuring Young Kel. Melody's crazy.
Let it go, baby, let me know if you're going ghost. She acting cold, just like the snow, sweating at 15 below. I can't even feel my toes, baby, will you let me know? I just wanna call your phone, but you won't answer that. I've been staying up all night, straight insomniac. I've been burning all these letters, I won't write you back. I'ma write a track, Jabari, making sure it slaps. Like, whoa, baby, I just wanna know. Down some Henny, got me moving.
Damn.
Slow roll, I just popped a bean. I can't listen anymore. Yeah, my mind been racing fast, thinking I might let it go. Rev the engine, hit the gas, rubber on the road. Moving different states, cause I'll be on the go. Hit me up, but I won't pick up the phone. Yeah, she fucking hates it, guess I'm better on my own. Yeah, baby, will you just leave me alone? I've been doing better on my own. Focus on staying in my zone. I just make this music, find a beat and hit record. I'ma put the shit out on the table, unstable. The way you twisting shit, I think I'm able to fucking leave. I'll regret it, but that doesn't really mean a thing. I'm indebted to these people funding up my dream. Got these people staring at me through the broken screen. Got this feeling, but it's getting hard to fucking scream. I need help, but everybody always come to me, so oh well. I don't really think my mind is doing so well. I pick up the blunt and my mind starts to swell. Headache from the cookie smoking off the top shelf. When I'm off the gas, I start coming out my shell.
I'm still coming out my shell. When I say that I'm gonna leave, I just hope you wish me well. I'm still under your spell. Read the room, I don't wanna really dive in a well. Why do I feel so underwater? And it's getting colder, please turn off the faucet. I found myself and then I lost it. I'm so damn exhausted, I
That's some rare shit. Damn. Damn. Yeah, that's definitely like a King Mark certified fucking classic, man. 2 years ago, so not fucking brand new, but definitely not old at all. Like, this is definitely like one of those hidden gems you could easily miss, man. So this is definitely something right here. Okay, so let's break this down here. We're gonna talk about three things. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Insomniac. So, instrumentally, I feel like these two prods absolutely fucking killed it. This is like the definition of like some like alternative modern cloud shit, but it has like those good ass hip hop elements in there. Um, this instrumental is a really great choice for these two, to be honest with you. Really good instrumental choice, 100%. Um, just like some deep underground alternative cloud shit. Like, this melody is without a doubt the shining star for me. Like, for sure, this melody. And the drums and the layout and just the overall structure, really just make it all that much sweeter. But the melody just does it so much justice for sure. So, instrumental A1, these two prods definitely fucking killed it. Let's break down some vocals. So Mark really laid like such a good foundation for Kel here. As far as not only like a theme, but like really setting an overall vibe as far as like flow and like attitude goes. So I feel like Mark like had like such a good introduction here. Like, I feel like the fact that this was a collab just makes it that much better. Cause like you could see this easily as like a King Mark solo track, but the fact that Kel is on it as well with a verse really makes it, like I said, all that much better. Um, and for this being like 2 years ago, I feel like Mark, like I said at the start before we even played this, has just improved so much. And like this is really like, it's like such a good insight on like what Mark was writing like 2 years ago and like compared to now. Like, you understand like why the writing has like matured the way it has. Because it's so good for 2 years ago, and then if you look at now, it's like, okay, like you understand sort of the progression going on here. So I do feel like the writing is like something to note, like without a doubt. You know, flow and cadence are a big deal here as well, especially for Mark. Mark just really laid a good foundation for this, like 100%. And you know, writing it's just something I keep coming back to because it's like such a telltale sign of like where Mark was gonna go as far as writing if he just kept writing, right? Kept creating, kept making songs, kept releasing shit. Um, just doing that whole kind of deal. So I really feel like the writing on this is A1. Now, to speak on Kel's verse, I really feel like Kel definitely blessed this track as far as like bringing like a whole different, softer kind of style, but also matching up what Mark was kind of going for on this track. And that's all you can really ask of a feature, right? Is to just kind of like match what you're doing, but kind of do their own thing and like do their own version of it. And I feel like that's what Kel really did here. I feel like Kel hit all the check marks as far as like showing Mark love on the track, but also like really killing their own section. So I feel like this is a good verse to get on this track, like for sure. Um, Definitely a collab that we'd love to see time and time again, just because the ideas are really infinite for this kind of duo, 100%. So I feel like Kel definitely did a really good job on their part. Let's talk about the theme here. We have some real classic King Mark shit. Like, I really feel like there's some like history behind this picture. You know what I mean? It's like one of those pictures that's like, okay, like this is some not like complete throwback shit, but it's like, okay, like this is hard as fuck. Like, cause like you hear the track and you know it's a banger, but you remember the cover because it's so subtle, and you're like, wait, now this song's a banger. I know what the cover looks like, and it's this. It's just one of those covers. So I definitely like the cover choice. Um, let's talk about the theme here. I mean, Insomniac, right? Like pretty self-explanatory. I feel like both Kel and Mark really have a couple of punchlines, some wordplay to do with like the phrase insomniac or even being an insomniac. But both of them definitely lay some sort of like emotional part of themselves down here on this track, as far as like like touching on things that they were sort of either going through, or stuff that was happening in their life at the time. So I feel like this is a great representation of like where they were at the time, and also like what kind of like writing style they could really craft from like such a simple kind of concept, right? Because even Mark said it in the track, like, I just get the beat and hit record, or something along those lines. And this is one of those where like it just like the theme boiled over after. So I do feel like this is just one of those great genuine collabs that you can't replicate. You know what I'm saying? So huge shout out to King Mark. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow King Mark on SoundCloud. Mark is 8 followers away from 160. Go show Mark some love. And of course, make sure you follow King Mark Music on Twitter. Mark is 10 away from 280, so go show some love to Mark. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 90 subscribers. A huge shout out to everybody that already has sub, and if you haven't, please do so. We upload 2 times a week, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good shit is available on the channel. Go show the channel some love. Ooh, this one's dank, I think. It indeed was dank. It indeed was dank. So, continuing on, yeah, we checked off SLM, Los, Dread. We're gonna wrap out to Offspring, Mark, yup. Continuing on, we got the homie Ab-Sono. Now, Ab-Sono, I mentioned a bit earlier, when we were talking about Soulja Los and producers really treating themselves like artists and really trying to expand their platform. So Ab-Sono is definitely right in that sort of lane for me. A producer that really just sprinkles their own style on like very like interesting genres and sort of like really blends a lot of styles together for sure. So this week they submitted a track titled Super Shit, and I assume it's an exclusive unreleased, so let's check this out. Yup, exclusive unreleased Ab-Sono, Super Shit. No cover, of course. So let's hop right into this one. I'm interested in the waveform 100%. Let's check it out. Ab-Sono, Super Shit. Interesting. About to go crazy. About to go fucking crazy. Yeesh. The fucking beat switch, man. Good fade out. Definitely a good fade out for sure. So, let's break this one down. Man, oh man, oh man. Alright. So, this was a really, really fucking, like... This was, like, a new level for Absono. 100%. Yeah, I agree, Cole. Definitely gas. Definitely gas. So, first things first, let's just talk about the mix. The mix is absolutely fucking stellar. Especially with all the slides and the sound selection going on here. Mix is very crisp and well-rounded, for sure. You know, you can expect that most of the time for Absono instrumentals, literally like 90% of the time. So, no surprise there that the mix is very crisp. Now, I don't know if I was expecting a beat switch based on the waveform. I just knew that this was going to go a different direction at some point, right? You just didn't know what it was going to sound like. This one definitely caught me off guard, right? Because it started off like very electronic, very like synth oriented, very like you could, you know, see it going like a very futuristic route and having like, you know, that kind of theme like across the way. Because, you know, especially with a title like Super Shit, I feel like that could have been that futuristic Knight Rider kind of like, you know, almost like, you know, just some real futuristic shit, to be honest with you. And even like the first half, like the sound selection was like very A1, so that's why it made you think that it was gonna just kind of keep going throughout the whole track. But we get about halfway through, and the beat switch is just fucking in your face, man. And like you have these slides that are just carrying the whole other end of this beat switch. Like the slides absolutely fucking carried it. I will say the drums are very well done. Hats, snares, everything's very like fast paced, in your face, very well mixed. You know, you got some elements from, of course, trap, drill, regular hip hop. You kind of got it all mixed in there as far as like what the style is, and I really think Absono's like that's like one of Absono's strengths as a producer is Absono could take like any, you know, style, alternative plug, you know, pop, this, that, and the third, and just kind of like put their own spin on it, and really like almost Absonify it. You know what I mean? Just like really sprinkle some Absono sauce on it. And that's what the second half of this is for me. So I do feel like this is like a really well done double kind of instrumental here. Because beat switches are not hard to do, but they're very dope if they're done right. Not that they're hard, like I said, but if they're done like really, really well, they can turn out like this. And I definitely like wasn't expecting it to turn like this tough, but I do think Epsono did a really good job with the overall structure of this beat switch. So let's talk about the theme here. Exclusive unreleased Epsono, so obviously no cover art, but we have the Epsono logo. Really just chilling, so that's always a plus. Because even if you're gonna upload like, private tracks, exclusive tracks, at least Epsono has the Epsono logo as the automatic default. I've always enjoyed that. You know, kind of goes along the lines of like why being a producer that treats themselves seriously is important because you have a brand, and Epsono definitely does that. So super shit. Like I said, definitely gave me like very like Knight Rider futuristic kind of vibes, but I do feel like the second half kind of turned it into like not like a darker vibe, but like almost like a more um kind of aggressive vibe, right? Because like the first half, you kind of get like the chill kind of electronic, futuristic kind of okay, like synth oriented energy. And then you go in the second half, you're like, oh shit. So I do feel like super shit is like a very like accurate name for this because it starts off like very chill and by the halfway point you're turning up. So very, very well done. Huge shout out to Epsono. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much, much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow Epsono on SoundCloud. They are 9 followers away from 40. Go show Epsono some love, man. And of course, make sure you follow Epsono on Twitter at ProudEpsono. Epsono is 4 away from 360 followers. Go show Epsono some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 90 subscribers. Huge shout out to everybody that has subscribed to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We upload 2 times a week, man. Exclusive podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel. So go show these artists and go show the channel some love. So let's continue on, my friends. Let's continue on. So we've had quite the night. Some familiar faces, first time submitting artists, prominent community members. Offspring's got a really, really good content piece for us tonight. But let's continue. So we left off with Epsono. Up next, we got the homie Troy Van Dussen. But Troy actually submitted past the deadline. I believe submissions were already closed by the time. Yeah, they were closed for about an hour. So if we have time after the rest of the submissions are done, we'll definitely wrap back around to Troy. But definitely, before you submit, definitely check out if submissions have already closed, right? Because you do have about a week to submit. So just keep that in mind, you know what I mean? Submissions are open for 90% of the week, man. So go submit. Go get it done, man. But let's continue. Up next, we got the homie Nicholas Verdugo. But last week we reacted to a track from a collective known as LTC that I believe Nicholas is a part of. So let's check out what they have. I don't think this is a visual. Let's pop it open in a new tab. I'm pretty sure it's just audio, right? Yeah, it's just audio. Okay, yeah, so Nick submitted for the first time last week, but, it wasn't a Nick solo track, it was a LTC track that we reacted to on SoundCloud, and it was some of the most interesting kind of sounding collective collaboration I have heard personally in a while. So I'm definitely excited to dive back into this. Let's check out the description. This is from our mixtape Aqua, a big collaborative effort from creatives within LTC and local artists from Orlando and Texas. Get the Instagram. Okay. Okay. Old thoughts, new memories, LTC. Let's check it out.
Old thoughts resurface, they fight back. New memories flood in your head, yeah. Raining in the sky, feeling on my face. Keep listening from the dirt race.
Yeah, scrapes on my knees, your head on my chest, clothes on my floor, lay me down to rest. Throw the memories on in, never thought to contest. Skipping every class, I was passing every test. New thoughts in my head, swirls over my bed. Remember what you said, messages unread. Crystallized shrine, revival from the depth. Waves crash into whatever might be left. So our time is borrowed and the sun won't shine and the flowers don't grow, they just stay behind. And I hope that you can stand and I hope it hurts to cry. Keep a fire in your heart, just don't ever wonder why.
Where are you? Can you help me soar deep? Raising thoughts up in my head. I hope you understand.
This is not for them, this is all for you. Serving no thoughts, new memories ooze. Wanna keep me down, they gon' see me ascend. Betting on my time like I don't know what's next. I can see a vivid picture taking me back. Times when I was young and I was skipping in class. Took a little moment just to come to my sense. Take me back to present cause my body is tense. Future looking brighter than the souls of men. Holding on to something that's a bigger plan. Hoping that you got it and it's all in your grasp. Never let it go, I help clear your path.
Where are you? Can you help me soar deep? Raising thoughts up in my head. I hope you understand.
Half the time I waste time to chase you. I like lies I can't wait to escape through. Cause the lines that I have to hop through. Let me know if I'm lost here without you. Could you walk a mile in my shoes? Your lips are laying beside you. This fake reaction, your attitude. Don't pretend to cry.
Where are you? Can you help me soar deep? Raising thoughts up in my head.
Wow. Okay. So this was definitely like such a nice blend of a few different styles. Much like the last track, I feel like LTC does a really good job mixing their sort of visions and ideas together as a collective. Because it comes out so fluid. But let's break this down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. Per usual, we're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Aqua. So this being a single off of a full project, I do feel like it was totally project worthy. To be honest with you, it has one of those hooks that's like so memorable, but like the thing that you remember the most about it is the verses. But let's talk about the instrumental. So, LTC kind of has a knack for these very much like alternative, lo-fi, almost house style kind of instrumentals that really like blend a few different genres together, and I think they do really well on it. The producer Owie does a really good job, to be honest with you. They're like very chill enough to kind of relax to, but at the same time, like you can listen to the bars and like really take them seriously as far as like writing goes. So the instrumentals are always very on point for a group like LTC, for sure. So well done. I like the choice. Um, let's talk about vocals here now. Definitely the shining star, like I said, is really the structure overall. Cause yes, the hook is one of the shining stars, but like the hook is like surrounded by such like well constructed and well written verses that I feel like the hook almost kind of shines even more because of the verses, if that makes sense. Like, I really feel like it's one of those songs where like you totally remember the chorus, but the verses are like what you like look forward to. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, that chorus slaps, but it's like, okay, like the verses are just as crazy. So like it's one of those rare occasions on a track, especially for like a collective, you know. So I do like the structure of this one a lot, 100%. Um, Writing is definitely a close second. I do feel like LTC do a really good job, really painting a picture, right, and really having the listener kind of having an easy time visualize what they're talking about, whether it be in their hooks, whether it be in their verses, in their small punchlines, in their more kind of like specific punchlines. Um so yeah, I do enjoy the writing on this a lot. Definitely very like poetic yet very lyric oriented and um almost emotional style of writing for sure. Um so I would imagine throughout the whole album this is definitely one that sticks out. Let's talk about the theme here. This is the Aqua cover for the full project. Talking about just aesthetics, I mean, come on, like this is one of those like very like movie like epic kind of covers, and it definitely fits the build. Would I say like it fits the sound? Probably not, but it probably fits the emotion and like the theme of the overall project, to be honest with you. Like the title Aqua, like it has everything in it, you know what I mean? And I do enjoy the LTC logo in the top left. Like I feel like little touches like that are really good. And it's very, very well designed. Like this fucking 1080p. Like this is also uploaded in like 4K, I believe. So like huge shout out to LTC for that. Yeah, it's literally in 4K. But yeah, so the Aqua cover is great aesthetically. I do feel like this is like hitting the nail on the head. Old Thoughts, New Memories. Like I said, I do feel like LTC do a really good job, um, making it easy for the listener and supporters, new or old, to kind of visualize what they're discussing, whether it be verses or in the hooks. And Old Thoughts, New Memories are, you know, just kind of a concept that I think a lot of people can get behind, and like a lot of people cannot like really understand like what a theme like that um could possibly mean. So I like the poetic balance of it, but I also like the lyricism of it as well. I feel like it is a nice fine balance, and then it's wrapped under a nice hook. So probably a notable track on the full project for sure. So huge shout out to Nick and LTC. Make sure you follow and subscribe to Nick on YouTube. Nick is 10 away from 70 subs, and make sure you follow Nicholas Verdugo on Twitter. Nick is 3 away from a 1,010. Okay, go show Nick some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe if you haven't already. We are approaching 90 subscribers on the Music Mondays channel. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. So let's hop right back into this because we have some fucking bangers coming up. We got some bangers coming up, chat, for sure. Up next we got the homie Thomas Marcus. Now, much like Epsono and a couple other producers that we spoke about tonight, Thomas is a producer that really just does a good job building their own sound and their brand, and like what being a producer really means to them. And Thomas just has this wonderful theatric alternative style, so I'm definitely excited for this track. Let's pop this open in a new tab, and I can tell that Thomas has been really enjoying the kind of animated style covers, which I think it's sick. And then you have the Thomas Marcus logo bottom left. Definitely well done. Now, This is probably brand new. This is definitely not one we've obviously heard on the show, but I do feel like this is relatively new. So let's check this out. Hey, let's get it, Thomas. See, you know, just one of those sounds that is like so well done and just so wide and just has so much personality, man. So obviously no vocals. Let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. And we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this Thomas Marcus track. So, right off rip, I do enjoy this mix a lot. Thomas has become increasingly well rounded as far as the mixing goes for their tracks. Especially with using so many melodies and like really achieving like a nice lo-fi crisp sound. I do feel like Thomas does a really good job as far as mixing goes. So, right off rip, I did think immediately the shining star for me, um, without a doubt, has to be the melodies. The way Thomas mixes guitars and, really just kind of wraps it all in this nice, like, lo-fi blend of sounds, man. This is definitely like a good showcase of like what Thomas can do as an artist for sure, especially like instrumentally, you know what I mean? Because these instrumentals can really hold their own. So I feel like this track is a really good showcase of Thomas for sure. Shining Stars, absolutely the melodies. I love the sound selection of everything. I love the structure. Um, very much a cover Thomas Marcus song. You're like, oh, you make music? Check this out. You know what I mean? Definitely one of those for sure. Um, well done, definitely. So let's talk about the theme here. Aesthetically, You know, like I said, Thomas has been really gravitating towards the more animated style of covers, which I think is great. Thomas definitely does a good job because it stays kind of like dream cloud like, almost very like euphoric, but still has like the Thomas Marcus kind of sauce to it. Throw the Thomas Marcus logo on there, you're good to go, you know? So, theme definitely hits. You know, this title, much like a couple of other Thomas Marcus titles, I do feel like these are like very much like not like personal themes, but I think themes that are like very like these tracks like mean a lot to Thomas more than like, you know, it's like an open theme for people to like instantly relate to, which I think is like such a great thing about music is like you can have these themes that like are almost just like insider themes to you, right? And you're like, oh, what does this mean? Or like, oh, why'd you write this song? And it's just a great way to be as a producer as well, right? Because, you know, for the people that don't record vocals, I feel like this is like a great way to like really get your theme out, really get like just the idea of your tracks out, you know? So well fucking done, Thomas. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Thomas Marcus. Make sure you follow Thomas on Spotify at Thomas Marcus, and make sure you follow Thomas Marcus on Twitter at Thomas Marcus075. Thomas is 7 followers away from 40. Go show Thomas some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube pre-upload. Subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. Huge shout out to everyone that already has, and the people that show love on the drops. Thank you. I see you. And if you haven't, like I said, make sure you go show some love, man. We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the Music Mondays channel. So, I believe we have, I think, like 3 audio submissions left, and then we'll continue on to our media submissions. But with that said, we have been live for about an hour and 30. So, anybody who's watching the show live, feel free to get up, go get yourself a snack, a drink, things like that. Music Mondays will be right back. I'm going to go take a bathroom break. We'll be back in less than 60 seconds. Huge shout out to anybody that's tuned in, showing love, and anybody else that submitted for the show tonight. Music Mondays episode 97 will be right back at you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast. Hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. We left off on Thomas Marcus. I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4 audio submissions left. No, we have 3 because Thompson does not follow the Music Mondays homepage on Twitter. Much like I said at the beginning of the show when we talk about submissions, the only thing that we do ask is that you are following the Music Mondays homepage on Twitter to not only help grow the platform, but to help show respect to everybody else that does submit every week and wait for their tracks to be played, reacted to, and reviewed. Yeah. So that's all we do ask. Feel free to follow the platform, resubmit your tracks, and we'll be happy to play them here on the show. So, continuing on, like I said, from Thomas Marcus, we have Freshen Up, and I believe this is a Matt Rocks track. We heard a little bit from Matt Rocks over the last couple of weeks, but Matt has absolutely been fucking killing it with the releases recently. Really touching on, like, all spectrums of sound. Like, we've really had a lot of submissions from Matt that have just been really just a blend of shit, but Matt has not only been blending but also really just like pushing that ceiling, because I believe last week's track was like super impressive, so I'm definitely excited to get into this one. Matt Rocks, No Reason. Let's check this one out. This 808 pattern is really fucking good. Yeah, that's really good. Clocking in at 4 minutes even, man. Well fucking done. Okay. Okay, I see you, Matt. I fucking see you. Genki girl, welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Welcome on in. So, let's break this one down because this is definitely interesting. We have a couple talking points here. We're gonna break this down and talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of No Reason. So, this instrumental definitely carries a lot of weight here. A couple things I really enjoy about this, but right off rip, mix is very, very crisp. Something you're gonna really get, um, you know, really pretty much in every Matt Rocks track. Like it's a very standard, um, it's a very standard thing. You're always gonna get a very crisp, solid mix from Matt for sure. But this instrumental is definitely like something that is really like a testament to what I said at the start. Matt has been blending genres really, really well lately, and I definitely think this instrumental is proof of that, right? Because we have this melody that is definitely like alternative pop, very like I wouldn't call it like straight hyper pop oriented, but it definitely has some pop elements. But these drums are like super, super hard hitting and like have a lot of like really modern trap elements. So I feel like this is a great blend of styles for sure. Shining star for me got to be the drums though. I really, really like the drums, especially the 808. I feel like the 808 pattern is like very, very much memorable here for sure. So, let's talk about vocals here. Again, mix very solid. You're not gonna really see a shitty mix from Matt. Pretty standard. So, no surprise there. Um, but lately, Matt's ability to not only write hooks but perform them and deliver them in this way is like really, really impressive because like I used to say it all the time, like Matt's ceiling is like so high and Matt just keeps really climbing to really keep like pushing the boundaries of like not experimental shit because it's not experimental. Like it is, but it's not like the definition of like what you think experimental would be. It's like a very fine tuning of mixing. And like it's like developing over time and something that we're watching here. So it's very, very interesting. But with that said, Shining Star, definitely the hook. I feel like Matt really, really not only structured this in a good way, but delivered the hook in a really good way. Kept it flowy, kept it jumpy, very like has this like Matt Rocks kind of swag to it, but it's also got this kind of very much chill element to it. So you can either like really just relax this, or it can definitely be one of those songs that like makes you want to bop. So either way, it definitely checks both boxes. So let's talk about the theme here. Matt's been going for like a more real kind of painting style of artwork recently, and this definitely falls right in line, like 100%. I definitely like the direction of like the real style of artwork that Matt and a few others have been going in recently. So it's a good choice for sure, especially with the hearts. I like the hearts. I think the hearts are a good addition, 100%. But I mean, no reason, right? Like no reason. Like it's like again an obvious choice in title, but there's a couple subtle bars in here that you'll be able to like really fully understand and really like just kind of grasp and be like, okay, like this is one of those like for me kind of tracks, and really like a showcase of Matt's songwriting, but also Matt's ability to deliver and really like flow properly on almost any kind of instrumental. Really like a good like current showcase of Matt, because Matt has a lot of tracks in their library that is just so memorable, but at the same time like every new joint is like a new step. It's like a new sound. So I definitely look forward to Matt Rocks drops 100%. And with that said, huge shout out to Matt Rocks for the submission. Thank you very much, my friend. Make sure you follow Matt Rocks on SoundCloud. Matt is very close to 1.8. Go show Matt some love, man. There's definitely some bangers in there that you probably haven't heard. And make sure you follow Freshen Up on Twitter at Freshen Up. That is Matt's collective with a couple of very, very talented individuals. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode, all 97, will be available in the description of the YouTube re-upload. So make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We are approaching 90 subscribers, so huge shout out to everybody that has been showing love on the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't, go show these artists in the channel some love, man. We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff. So, let's continue on, my friends. I believe we have, I think, two more left, and this next one is going to be very, very interesting. By the way, I submitted one in your DMs, did it a few days ago. So, we only accept submissions through the tweet here every week. If you'd like to be featured on the show, make sure you're dropping your submissions under this tweet here. Just to keep the show free flow. We don't open DMs, Google Drive links, things like that. If you want to be featured on the show, always drop your links under this tweet for sure. And it'll always be in the same format every week. And I'm sure those of you who are used to that know the drill. But for anybody that is not aware, that's how we do it. And of course, before we go through submissions every week, I do explain the process. So for anybody watching on YouTube, if you're ever interested in submissions, you're like, holy shit, how do I get involved in this? Definitely check out the beginning of the show. We always go over how to submit. And of course, you can check out allmusicmondays.com for all submission details for our playlist, the podcast, interviews, reviews, all that good stuff is available on our homepage, allmusicmondays.com. So, Sirica Saturn, aka Bloodcat. You know, Bloodcat is another one, much like Matt Rocks, as to where this is just another artist that is really absolutely blowing it out of the water as far as not only art style and work ethic, but really blending genres. Like, really, really blending genres. Bloodcat is just continuously impressing not only myself, but really the whole community, and I'm very, very excited to see what Bloodcat has in store for us this week. We have exclusive unreleased Bloodcat dropping on December 9th. So if you're watching live, today is the 28th. It'll be dropping in literally about a week. So be on the lookout for that. But again, you know, more of the kind of like real art direction, you know what I mean? Kind of like the real kind of, you know, just like very vivid, passionate, like almost slightly abstract kind of painting style. I love it. You know, I'm seeing more and more of that as of lately, so this definitely falls right in line. Now, like I said, this is exclusive unreleased Bloodcat titled Spoon Feed, dropping December 9th. Let's check this out. Clocking in at 2:04, so interesting. Let's see what we got.
You spoon feed love to your new
Holy shit.
Had to fight my way to you when you was night and day. I watch you spoon feed love to your new piece. Love had to fight my way to you when you was night and day. You don't know what you carry, what you're giving away. I can't keep from caring, I can't carry it away. I'll pray for everything you dare.
Way.
To come back from me, everything you're scared of is true, and they have to me. Don't know what they're saying, what they're willing to pay. They can't keep from staring, you can scare them away. I'll pray sorry for everything you told me to say, to come back to me. I'll hold my breath and kiss my way down your masterpiece.
Wow. What the fuck? Wait, this bass is insane. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. Wowie, wow, 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 wow. What the fuck is this? I'll be honest, this is not what I was expecting just because of the waveform. Like, this is like such a crisp, tight sounding mix, and it's so hard hitting for this waveform. Like, this waveform does not do this mix justice, man. This mix is literally perfect. Wow. Wow. Okay. So definitely have some thoughts here. Let's break this down. Talk about three things. Talk about vocals, the instrumental, and the overall theme of Spoonfeed. So, the instrumental, man, is something I would love to hear Bloodcat build off of. I think Bloodcat sounds really fucking good on these kinds of alternative, like, you know, bassy, almost synth-like, yet, like, it has a couple different elements. You know, some rage vibe in there, but, like, a little bit of, like, man, it's like another really good blend of shit. But I feel like the bass and like the instrumental in itself is like such a good combo for Bloodcat's vocals, especially when Bloodcat is doing this style of vocals. You know what I mean? I really, really like this instrumental choice. You know, again, real easy to kind of fuck this instrumental up when, you know, you don't have the right vision for it. Bloodcat definitely had the right vision for it. And then it's just backed up by a really crisp mix. I love this instrumental choice. 10 out of 10. I think Bloodcat sounds really good on this style. Let's talk about vocals here. I mean, we have a very modern, up-to-date, current, quote-unquote, for the lack of a better term, Bloodcat mix, right? It's very, like, up-to-date. It's very, like, what Bloodcat's current sound is. But at the same time, we get a couple of variations here, especially towards the later half of the track, and, you know, just a really good blend of, like, backing vocals and, you know, wrap that up in like, a very crisp mix. You get a track like this, man. Like, there's a lot of, like, small details in here that really made the world a difference. Obviously the mix, but, like, the backing vocals, the ad-libs, the whole delivery process of this track was done really well. Sometimes that's just it'll happen in the studio like that, man. Like, sometimes you'll just sit down and just fucking bang something like this out, and it'll just happen like that, and it'll come out like way better than like you or anyone could have expected. You know what I mean? So, well fucking done, well done. And you know, the writing is very much up to par as well. Before we continue, you know, you have your standard Bloodcat bars along with some more, you know, lyrics in like a poetic fashion, but like almost comedic as well. Like, there's a lot of like really distinct Bloodcat writing styles, but this one definitely like it brings the hardest of them all for sure. And the style that like we were first introduced to, and the style that I think Bloodcat has built upon the most. So, let's talk about the theme here. I mean, aesthetically, like I said, I do like the more real painting style, the more abstract, like, obscure style. Bloodcat has been making me laugh with the fucking cat covers, man. Like, literally been killing it with the artwork lately. So, huge shout out to Ever, who has been doing the artwork, man. Like, whoever's been going crazy on these pieces, A1. You know, Spoonfed, I also do think this is a great cover for this, though. You know what I mean? I definitely think the aesthetics tie into the title and the theme. Open Mouth, you kind of have what looks like, or you could perceive to be as a spoon. It doesn't necessarily need to be a spoon, but it looks like one, right? So you sort of like get the idea that's going on here aesthetically. But you want to talk about the overall theme of Spoon Feed? Like, you know, you could really play on like a couple different, you know, words and like themes and shit here, but this is another track where the artist kind of had some thoughts, had a theme or an idea or some wordplay in their head, and really like just built upon it. And I think that's one of the greatest things about music is like when you have like something so small, like an idea, like, oh, this motherfucker's spoon fed, or you know what I mean, like, man, I hate spoon fed motherfuckers, or this, that, and the third. Like, one of those cases where you take a small theme and you can build upon it and really just kind of expand. And I think Bloodcat does really, really well with that. We see a lot of artists come into the Music Mondays community that really do a good job at taking a small theme and really building upon it. So, with that said, huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much motherfucking love. Bloodcat is approaching 1.3K on SoundCloud. Go show Bloodcat some love, man. There's definitely some shit on there you haven't heard, and you'll definitely enjoy. And make sure you follow Syricus Saturn on Twitter. Syricus Saturn is approaching 2 followers. Go show Syricus Saturn some love. And of course, I'll be linking Bloodcat's alternative Twitters as well. Follow BCat Plus. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 80. Or no, I'm sorry, we're approaching 90 subscribers. We already hit 80. Huge shout out to everybody that man, I'm just not even used to it yet, man, because we hit 80 fast. So huge shout out to you guys, man, for showing love. But we are approaching 90 subscribers on the main channel. So go show the Music Mondays channel some love. Go show these artists some love. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of really, really good underground independent content that you should go check out for sure. So go show the main channel some love. So, last audio submission of the night. Soul Golden, Divined, and Troublesome. Golden Soul, NC. We the Platform, the All High Club, Divine and Troublesome. Radio, podcast, events, and more. Something. Check out the up-and-coming rapper Nita Grease from Buffalo, New York. So this is definitely a first time submitting artist here, but definitely an artist that we have not reviewed here on the show or reacted to. Up-and-coming rapper from Buffalo, New York. Her older brother's top Grease footsteps while simultaneously making a name for herself. Her gritty persona and lyrics sets her apart from female rappers that are out today. I'm looking for like a Twitter or like an Instagram or something. Like, am I fucking high? See, like, that's the thing with these like third-party submissions. Like, you gotta tag these artists. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta show these artists some love, man. Like, this is not easy for like, say, like a new supporter to be like, oh, like, where can I find them on Twitter? Where can I find them on, you know what I mean? Here, this, that, and the third. Yeah. So not much to go off of here, but we do have a Spotify link. So let's check that out. Nita Grease, SLDR. Let's check out their page. Just one single. Interesting. Okay. Let's check it out. Nita Grease, SDLR.
Grease.
Survive to die to live a verse shit still play. I love you, Bobby.
Surfer.
Grease. Did you meet? Took a need the blood or need the grease? 3-6 personality, I'm still a solid queen. Little lady, aka Tugger, I'm a little mean. Need the blood, the hood, real might have beat a couple niggas. Fuck your bitches then. Well, I pass them to the team. Bloody tiptoeing through the scene. Hold up, here come, need the grease. With the fucking beams, not blue or red. I'm on gold, yo, I'm green. Run up on me, bitch, that'll never happen. You bitches stay capping, I stay greasy. Been to block you up, stay like, don't make me wrap the package. Grease, cause when I get it, I'ma stash it. Put it in the basket, roll a blunt, and now I'm laughing. I do this for my ancestors, I hope that they is happy. I keep a smile up on my face, the haters try to bash me. I move the way I move, don't approach, don't try to dab me. Look into my eyes, I'm a legend in the flesh. Look into my soul, I'm an angel, yes, I'm blessed. Look into my eyes, I'm a legend in the flesh. Look into my soul, I'm an angel, yes, I'm blessed. Like need a higher, keep going. Look, you survived to die to live a verse, shit still play roll. Like need a higher, keep going. Look, you survived to die to live a verse, shit still play. It's need degrees, and you know I'm super greasy. Real right, gangsta, my Tyson, shit ain't easy. Got both genders pressing the fam, just to me, I'm just a lonely child. Catch me dancing with my demons. R.I.P. to Granny, Lord knows I need your preaching. Fuck the fake love, real love, I'm steady seeking. Middle fingers up to the dick riders, leeches. More moves, less announces, cause the haters steady peeking. Raised by them greasy gangsters, only money that we see. Get smacked with a blue face, fuck if you don't believe me. Me and mine's moving mountains with our fucking pinkies. Keep it slick like Kodak Black, bitch, keep it peachy. Female top grease, I'm forever spitting greasy. Got little shorty whip just to sucking on my pinkies. They disguise, look alive, cause inside they leeching, shit steady reaching. Grease. Look into my eyes, I'm a legend in the flesh. Look into my soul, I'm an angel, yes, I'm blessed. Look into my eyes, I'm a legend in the flesh. Look into my soul, I'm an angel, yes, I'm blessed. Like need a higher, keep going. Look, you survived to die to live a verse, shit still play roll. Like need a higher, keep going. Look, you survived to die to live a verse, shit still play rolling.
Let's go, man. That was crazy. That was really, really crazy. Especially for somebody with like no music out. Like that was like quite the like first song to kind of drop, right? Very, very interesting. Okay. Let's break this one down, man. First time submitting artist, Nita Grease. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of SDLR. So, you know, you have a very modern kind of darker style of trap here, especially instrumental wise. I do feel like Anita was looking to really spit some thoughts out, so I do feel like this was like the fast-paced kind of sample vocal driven instrumental that somebody would need for that. So it's definitely like more on the emotional side, but still hits hard 100%. The mix is very solid, nothing clashing to overbearing. I feel like it fits really well with the vocals, and I do feel like the vocal sample was a very, very nice touch. I think the product did a good job for sure. Now let's talk vocals here. Anita sounds really, really good. I think the mix is very on point. Still raw enough, but it has that nice crispiness to it. Again, very impressive for an artist that is brand new, right? Like really no library or no really like easy links to find. So very impressive. Very, very impressive. The thing that really did it for me though, it was the delivery. I do feel like the recording really hit every nail on the head as far as like keeping this emotional and really getting like the lyrics across and really like trying to come off as like very serious, but like let, you know, listeners and supporters understand where you're coming from. So I feel like the delivery was just like such a shining star. The writing was very, very impressive as well. Nothing like too like overdone, right, as far as like writing goes, because like sometimes people just go OD with these kind of tracks and it's just like, okay, dude, this is kind of getting like, it's not like fantasy writing, but it's like one of those types of writings that's like, it's like too much. I feel like Nita definitely hit like the nice sweet spot as far as like people can take this seriously while also being able to relate to it. You know what I mean? And that doesn't necessarily mean that like every single piece of music you ever create has to be like that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of music is just an extension of yourself and like the experiences that you have. So I do feel like sometimes if you're going for like more of like a serious point, I do feel like this kind of direction is a good way to go. So instrumental, very, very solid. Vocals, very, very solid, especially clocking in at almost 3 minutes. Nita definitely did a really good job at filling up the space, but also like really giving a listener to like just really giving them something to like hold on to and like really grasp. So, um, the overall theme here, the cover is really dope. You have SDLR on the back, and it kind of has this like really just like aesthetically pleasing photo. Like sometimes you just see covers like this and you like it could be a complete fucking banger or it could just be a complete like meh. But this was definitely in the case of a banger for sure. Um so the aesthetics are definitely on point. The overall theme of SDLR though, Anita definitely let a lot of things off their chest and really like let a lot of lyrics just kind of almost flow out, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't even have to like fully write out a song like this because it's so easy to like let emotions and stories and feelings and things like that just flow out of you, and sometimes you'll be going through it and these types of songs just come out super super naturally almost. But I do feel like Nita did a really good job at like really conveying her thoughts and really like being a very like visual kind of artist and making it easier for listeners to really understand where she's coming from, especially with the energy that she's bringing. So as far as like having a more serious kind of understanding like direction, I definitely feel like Nita absolutely hits the nail on the head. Huge shout out to Nita Grease for the submission. Make sure you follow Nita Grease on Spotify, and of course every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. We'll have to find Nita's Twitter, and of course that'll be linked in the description as well. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays channel if you have not already. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive podcast episodes, exclusive content, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. Every artist featured will be in the description. Go show the channel some love. So, that was a great first time submission. I'm not gonna lie. That was very, very impressive. Especially for like a brand new artist, man. That was like, oof. So that does it for audio submissions. Everybody absolutely fucking slayed it tonight. Huge shout out to the audio submissions. But we do have one media submission from the homie Offspring. And Offspring, man, like there is a lot we could definitely say, but one thing you definitely take from Offspring is the work ethic, man. Offspring definitely goes very, very hard for their work, and whether it be production, writing, visuals, filming, things of that nature, you can definitely take that from Offspring. But this week, they submitted Offspring's POV, which would be like a day in the life. Because last week I was like, yo, you know what we need? We need an Offspring fucking day in the life. And literally that's what the caption is. We need a video day in life, Offspring Mysterious. Well, my good man, let me introduce you to this video. So without further ado, the last submission of the night, Offspring's POV. I have an important question to ask you. Facts. The fans want to know. Damn, it's the Jiggy intro. Yo, Offspring in the chat. What's good, baby? Welcome on in. Hope you're well. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. We hopping right in.
I had the strangest dream. I had a dream where somebody asked me this really, really good question.
About to be lit.
What is it like to be Offspring for a day? Not gonna lie. It made me scratch my head. Because I So I've got an idea. If you really want to know what's like to be Osprey, follow me. Now, if you want to know what to be like to be Osprey for a day, you gotta put this on. I know what you're thinking. It's alright. How about this? Instead of me telling you what's like to be Osprey, you're gonna be in my shoes for a day. Sounds cool, right? Perfect. Here, put this on.
Sounds like a fucking dub to me.
Let's do this for a day. Have fun.
You shower Steve. Let's fucking get it, baby. We are officially in Offspring shoes. This is some golden content right here. Yup. Let's go. Oh, back at it again. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I'm just scratching the surface. Oh shit.
Okay. All the Offspring classics are in this. Good choice of a playlist.
yeah. I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah. Now this, this is something. We love that. Yes. Oh shit. I kinda had a feeling it was about to be the banger. Oh shit. getting the props. Later. Let's fucking go. Oh shit. Oh shit, man. Let's go. See, now that is what I'm talking about, man. See, Offspring is really ahead of the game when it comes to like side content surrounding like their creativity, their art, whether it be their production, their writing, their digital art. You know what I mean? Like, this was a really, really good addition. This was a really, really good fucking addition to the Offspring library for sure. Shit like this is gonna be around for years to come, 100%. This was very, very enjoyable. Once again, another step up in editing, and I know Offspring definitely worked their fucking ass off for this, so definitely go show this some love, man. This was great to premiere on the show. You know, and like I always say, one thing you can always count on for Offspring is to really just get some motivation from it, right? Offspring literally self-produces, self-edits, films, comes up with ideas, direction, promo, like literally all of it. So if there's anything you can take from Offspring, it's definitely that, my friends. And you'll hear me say that time and time again, but you know, Offspring is really ahead of the content game as far as like doing outside sort of, you know, different styles of projects, and I really think Offspring is really onto something with this. So definitely keep it up, my friend. Go show Offspring Mysterious some love. Offspring is 5 subscribers away from 100. That's a great milestone. So go sub to Offspring. Lots of good music, lots of good edits, lots of good visuals, lots of good stuff over there on the Offspring channel. Go show Offspring some love, my friends. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter at BeatsMode. Offspring is 8 followers away from 890. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 90 subscribers on the Music Mondays channel. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive podcast segments, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Offspring killed it. Dread, Soja, SLM, Mark, Absono, Nick, Thomas, Freshen Up, Bloodcat, Nita, literally everybody, all the first time submitting artists, anybody who lurked and chilled, I appreciate it, my friends. When you said you need a day in life Offspring, I already had it in my vault. See, I was like, really, like, that just proves what my point was like, Offspring is really just ahead of the game. Like, truly just ahead of the game. Like, Offspring was already on it when I had came up with that idea. That's some pretty fucking rare shit, if you ask me. Like, that is truly some rare shit. So, huge shout out to Offspring. Thank you for the submission, my friend. Keep up the good work. Absolutely keep up the good work. Huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love tonight. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. So, we are in the last couple of days of November. Expect a lot of content to kick off December. We have the Music Mondays Awards this month to end off 2022. Expect Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday. Go check out a whole shit ton of new Music Mondays uploads, man. There's a whole slew of brand new uploads on the channel. Definitely go check them out. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the submission, my friend. I appreciate you. Definitely keep it up. Definitely keep it up. Is everyone nominated? Pretty much. It'll be myself and the Music Monday staff of about 10 people. We're going to come up with some categories, and pretty much everybody is nominated, and we'll kind of discuss amongst ourselves who we think, you know, deserves to go where as far as like a majority of votes. Not that these titles really mean anything, but it's just something fun for the community to do, and really just, you know, an underground version of some really like XXL shit, except done properly. So we're definitely going to show the community some love with that. Everything will continue as normal. Underground Classics, Dose of Daybreak, Workshop Wednesday, Feature Friday, The Breakdown, Episode 2, in case you missed it, monthly. Definitely go check out allmusicmondays.com. We have a whole bunch of brand new content on the website as well. And like I said, man, just huge shout out to everybody that's been showing love recently. Lots of good stuff coming before the end of the year and leading into 2023. Underground definitely need an award show. Well, that's what we're going to work on, my friend. We're definitely going to work on it, so don't you worry. It'll definitely become an inaugural thing, for sure. It'll definitely become a regular occurrence here, so don't you worry about that. But make sure you follow us on all socials at All Music Mondays. Stay tuned for updates every single day, new content every single day, new content every single week, month. Go sub to the channel at Music Mondays. And like I said, huge shout out to anybody that came through, showed love tonight. It's been your boy Zom Slays, man. Go show everybody some love. And of course, you can find this episode on YouTube and all audio platforms by Thursday and Saturday, respectively. Huge shout out to Cole, Genki, Offspring, anybody else that lurked and chilled. Thank you. Submissions open tomorrow for episode 98 of the Music Mondays podcast. If you're interested in submitting for next week's show, be on the lookout. Make sure you follow us on all socials at All Music Mondays. And we'll see you next week for episode 98. It's been your boy, Dom Slays. I love you. Take care. And we'll see you next week for episode 98 of Music Mondays.